What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Space Garden. You know what? I just starting to be an influencer. I don't really want to be called that, although I do want to influence those who want to learn. Jesus, want to learn, want to learn how to express themselves in various forms. This week is going to be called "Express Yourself." I don't like saying certain words, so you'll hear me. Change my words around. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just dropped a fucking paintbrush, of course. I'm not going to say something made me drop it just to, oh my God, you see the interruption? I don't want to do that. I feel like giving power to these negative entities, if they are around, let's not say if they are, but let's not give power to them. So this is an old painting that I did of myself in a past life of a voodoo priestess. I don't like saying the word priestess. Actually, it sounds very Christian and Catholic. So you'll hear me change things around, like I said. So just enjoy me transforming myself. Back then I had red hair and now it's different. So the thing is creativity sounds kind of minuscule to me. I feel like there's a stronger word for expression that I have not found yet. And I not only want to find it deeper within myself, I want others to deepen that within themselves and know that painting is just not painting and art is just not art. And I feel like all art is good. I've been to various museums where the art wasn't for me, but it was $100,000, and somebody wants it. So there's always somebody that's going to like your art and my art. So watch me express this. This is for, I don't like saying Black History Month because we or I, there's some of us that watch the channel, I'm sure will be African heritage or Alkebulan heritage. We're not colors. I mean, to a certain extent we are, but that's not our DNA. So this is honoring the month of our ancestors that went through a lot of pain. Sometimes we have grief and trauma that's not ours, but could be ours from past lives as well. And we're feeling it, and we could think that it's actually linked to something that we've been through, and it actually isn't. It's connected to something else. So sometimes Alkebulan heritage could activate something in you when you read something, look at something, or even paint something. So what I like to call is fascia healing, and that is getting the energy out of your fascia and onto the canvas. I love it. It's a deeper look into past lives and past histories. So I'm just going to amp this up and just go with the flow and know that I've got this. Have a little puffy puff. I hope everyone's doing great out there. I will talk about my story as I'm going. My story is very, very eclectic, you could say. Oops, that's not the color I wanted. Something came across me of being in what would be the slavery nowadays opposed to the slavery back then, which they amped up. I'm sure I've heard that there were stories back then that was a lot like this. We are now have been in what my ex-mother now says, that this game has happened before. She thinks I don't remember that, but I do. Of gang stalking, which is what they call the new witch trials, basically, what I call it. And that's not what I want to hear. And I like to break the stigma off of the word witch. I don't think it's a good choice of words. We have other words that we were actually strongly labeled. I don't really want to mention them because I've been going through stuff and having people try to intimidate me or get in my life and know my shit. But we had different names in each culture. And what they're trying to do now is, or they have been, it's not even now, is the spirit of separation. That color is already present. And the spirit of separation would be highly religious indoctrination to separate us, to get us all to think that magic and learning about the earth is evil. This is what I'm doing right now. Me speaking is magic. My words are magic. My movements right now are magic. Me painting this brush with this brush is magic. And the people that have used it to harm others in this life specifically are actually put into our lives right now for karma. Let me rewind. I don't really like the word karma. It sounds very 1920s. I don't really like 1920s communications or words, you should say, spelling. But it's like, my apologies, I'm getting focused. Like I was saying, the people that are using this are ancient ideologies and things of that nature. I don't want to say ideologies because Christian people will be like, oh, you're idolizing. No, we're honoring. And we can talk to other family members because Jesus, or his real name, Jesus, he actually has another real name. I forgot what it was, but I was actually shown I have it. I was shown by a very trustworthy source, extremely trustworthy, and we get so hyped up on who said what, who did what, and he was black. Okay, we have, like Mama Zogbe said, we've gotten to the point where, okay, they're black, we get it, but what's the rest of the information? A lot of indigenous people are fighting for, they're fighting for the right knowledge, and there hasn't been a common ground of, like, what do we do now? Instead of bickering against each other, because there's a spirit of information that does that on purpose in order for separation. So it's like a whole psyop. And, moving forward, I'm kind of going to be all over, which is fine, because this is my show. That looks so tight. I personally am a mixture of things, and growing up, it wasn't as confusing. It was confusing because I didn't fully know what I was, and then I got a DNA test and found out that I wasn't what I was even raised, what I thought I was. So I was raised mainly Italian, and I don't have a drip of Italian in my soul. Well, maybe my soul, but not my DNA at all. So that's really confusing. I mean, not now, since I know the direct line of where it came from. Good old family karmic members. But being of a biracial race is confusing because it's confusing to the point where what ancestors do I honor first or last? And it's like, or what do I focus on next, Who am I? And back then when I was Christian, which I learned a lot from Christianity, a lot actually, of I'm not an actual, like, race per se, maybe in the physical, but in the non-physical, I am Stop. 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 So, I am the creator's child. I am the goddess's child. And, you know, there's just a lot going on right now. So if anyone out there is feeling confused or anything about their culture, I totally get it. And you're not. I hate sounding cliche because I'm one of depth, but I kind of lost my depth going through attacks and things like that. Many attacks by people that I thought loved me and didn't, which is disgusting and dishonorable on their part. Disgusting. I felt that. Oh, Lord. Ew, I can't even. Oh, my throat. So, and it's funny because, like, a lot of us, I'll speak for myself, don't feel, there's like a sense of unworthiness that I have of like, oh, somebody with a bigger ass is going to be better than me, or somebody, I don't know, somebody who's prettier. And I had boyfriends, right? And cheated on me, obviously. And then I look at myself and I'm like, wait, they're stupid. Because no one can be better than me, even at my ugliest. And what is ugly anyway? Ugliness comes from the inside. Because I've met people that I didn't think were attractive, and then I got to know them and I was like, ooh, gorgina, like gorgeous. And I've always thought that since I was younger. Like, I never really considered people's looks too much, obviously, since you can look at my past. If you are there, or have been there with me. But, this looks Bombay. But, you know, it's all about, ew, I almost sounded like my ex-mother. It's all about perception. No, bitch. The truth is the truth. Some people aren't attractive, you know, and that's okay. But I know I am. And we have off days. You know how hard it is to work this? Have to keep it up? But naturally, whoever made the person that, like, you discriminate against, whatever spirit created the spirit that you're going against, such as you're going against that creator. So, like, that's a whole other conversation. And you're probably thinking, but we only have one creator, do we? I had talked to this other psychic a long time ago, and she had told me that the creator created creator beings to create things. So, that's another conversation I'd rather not discuss because it's private, but just something to make you think. But besides the point, let's go backwards because I'm just talking just to talk because I haven't talked a lot. Back then, we were stalked. Not only women, but men who did sorcery. Sorcery meaning connected to source, in my book, depending on what source they're sourcing. We're stalked for being intelligent, basically, and being strong, which Africans are known for. But a lot of people are known for, so I don't really like to discriminate and say, like, oh, African race is the only race. No, they were the first, but they're not the only. Let's be real. It's about the spirit, not the race. Although the African race and the heritage of it is grand, so deep and so grand, and a love that I hope you get to feel one day as I'm feeling it right now. I'm gonna cry. Oh Lord, I can feel it. The love from it is just so intense. But anyways, the stalking and the harassment and the infiltration of people who have been choosing to work for the malevolent. I don't like saying Satan because that was created, but beside the point. The malevolence. They have low consciousness. Consciousness meaning their thought patterns are very low and don't decide to grow out of it. Mainly because it's a mental disorder, meaning out of order. And it's sad. It really saddens me when people attack other people because it's like, that's what you chose to do with your life. Like, you could have built a business. You could have ran with me. You would have made a lot more money with me than you would without me. But besides the point, that was just a little jab. But to each their own, you like what you like. If you like peasantry, then go ahead. Voodoo actually came before Christianity, I believe, because it was stolen and put into the Bible. But the Bible has been stolen and how do I say this? It has been rewritten, so it already was there and then they got drained. So voodoo, the word voodoo, people are very scarce of it because of what the elites don't want us to tap into. And voodoo actually means God. The word voodoo means God. And voodoo daha means the God within. So that's just a little tidbit for the day, night, whatever. Can y'all even see me? But that's not the only culture I'm into. So if anyone's trying to like attack me through that, it's not gonna work because you don't even know what I'm doing right now. And I just had a question pop in my head. Do I believe that Jesus did voodoo? Abso-fucking-lutely. Excuse my language if language affects you. I cuss a bit. But yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything he did. Work with the herbs. Healed people. That's everything that it is. And anybody who tells me that otherwise, I don't care. Like, you don't need to fight with me. Do not comment on this page at all if you are one of them. You have to understand that there are people that use magic for evil. And Christianity is from Ethiopia originally. So it's like everyone's hyper-focused on one, not everyone, but a lot of people are focused on one time frame of like when Jesus was here because he's been the hyper-focused one. Been the hyper-focus of many generations. So, here's a story. When I was in rehab, this was years ago, so don't even try me. This was years ago. I'm an ex-heroin and meth addict. Been clean for many years. Except, well, I was clean for a lot of years, and then I slipped, did it like a handful of times, and I was like, the dope's gone bad. So I literally stopped on the street for the second time. That's how bad it was. It was like, if you're doing drugs and you're around people who you're not having fun with, like, stop. This is supposed to be a party. And let's be real. Sometimes people like to party. But I don't anymore because the people around that kind of scene is just like, ew. They're not fun. They used to be back in the day. We was getting it. But not anymore. Anyways, I was in rehab and I'll probably tell this story a different time since I'm talking really long on here. But it was a very intense story where I found out my gifts and it was so fucking scary. Like, it was so fucking scary. Because I was like, I didn't want to tell nobody nothing. I was like, what am I experiencing? Because it wasn't just like a simple like gesture of events. It was like, it was big. But, where was I going with this? So I was in the rehab. I was healing. So as what people would say, shadow work. I don't like calling it that. It sounds silly to me. I like to call it gardening. But back then I didn't know I was doing shadow work. Dang, that thing. Anyways, so I was healing, but the counselor that I had was extremely spiritual, and I was blessed. I don't like saying blessed. Was blessed immensely with this teacher. She taught me for like 2 years. So I still talk to her after I got out of rehab. But besides the point, I could hear angels clearly. I could hear ascended masters clearly. I don't really like saying those kinds of words because it sounds really starseedish. I like the word starseed, but like some of the context sounds very fluffy, and I just don't like it. So, anyways, I could hear. She taught me how to listen. She taught me how to listen and hear. Really good, and my spiritual ears are protected, so don't nobody fucking try me and my voice. So, oh yeah, baby. So she taught me how to listen. So I heard spirits tell me certain things, and everything was on point, right? I was having experiences. I don't even want to speak about my experiences because I'll talk about them later because they're very intense. But anyways, I was talking to Jesus like every day. And I feel like because I know that people would argue like that name, another spirit, a counterfeit spirit could come forth, but I feel like my soul knew the original name, so even if I called out that name, the real spirit came towards me. And not that it does matter. A European spirit did not come to me. It was like I didn't really see it as a spirit at that time, but later on I literally saw him. He came to me. He was African. But anyways, this is before all the stuff that I knew. But anyways, I heard him tell me that women actually taught him how to heal. That's what he told me. And this was like over 10 years ago, okay? I didn't know any information about the stuff I know now. I didn't read books the way I do now. I didn't know any of that stuff, that women were the ones who were first. Didn't have any idea. And he told me. And so I didn't have my past life regression license yet. I didn't even know about past lives yet fully. And I'm standing outside. I think we were doing something at rehab, cleaning or something. And he tells me that me and another girl that was around, who I took kind to, she was pretty cool. Can't remember her name now, but he said you and her are one of the ones that actually resurrected me. And I said, what the fuck? And I didn't say that, but I told her, and she felt it, and she was like, what? And that's all I can really remember at that time. But I held on to that. I actually had let go, and then now, like, I had something stop me, obviously, because something must have found out that I found out. And that was years ago, and didn't want me to, like, start the process of the grand journey of the goddess. And it's not about a gender war. It's not about that. It's about authority and connection and thriving together. It's not a fucking, like, the elites want you to think that, like, we rule. And it's about sovereignty, which meaning, your sovereign self and your rights. But that's a whole nother conversation. But anyways, that happened, and then I had let that go. And then I had another experience where I'm reading the Bible in a sober living by myself. My gifts were extremely high, to the point where, like when I'm not bragging, but to the point where, you walk in a room and the fucking light bulb pops. Like, that's how high it was. But besides the point, that was very exciting. I'm actually kind of excited about that. Knowing that I could do it again. You could pop a light bulb. If you want to, just make sure you take care of it. Anyways, that felt like a really bad dad joke, or some kind of, when you're at a party and you say a joke and nobody laughs. That's what it felt like. Anyway, excuse me. I was reading the Bible, and I knew nothing about African history at all, because I was raised Italian. That's why I'm so fucking hard right now. Like, Not physically, but like, I could bust your balls at any time. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, not kidding. I was with Jesus, and I kept feeling like, wait a second, God is black. God is a black woman, and I kept feeling it. And then in my vision, I had a vision. I'm about to cry. I had a vision of like, it was like a black woman, an African woman who was like purple. And I was like, what is that? Didn't connect the dots at all because I didn't have any information about it. And then later on, I started learning about Ifa, and Nana Baruku is African. And she's purple. So, hello, that's not a coincidence. So, she could be just the god of that pantheon, but she's telling me right now, she just chimed in, she said that she's the beginning of time. That's intense. That's intense. I wasn't expecting her to come through like that. She's telling me to talk right now. She's saying that people who are going through it right now, she feels your pain. And she said that your weeping has to continue in order for it to get out. And the people that she's telling me to slow down. It's okay. This is insane. Let's go. Okay, I thought I got orange on my shirt. She's saying that the people who you feel like you've lost, that's okay to feel that way. But she's telling me to tell you to study limerence and denial. She's saying the love that you think is so deep for these people is actually a conducted thought form through Christianity of forgiveness. And sometimes in Christianity, the new one has formed you to feel bad for people like that. She said you don't have to use the word forgive right now. She's telling me to tell you what I say is to learn how to heal, process, and let go. Because it will hinder you. And healing looks different for everybody. Excuse me, y'all. I'm having an experience over here. She's telling me to tell you the foolishness of men and women, what they're deciding to choose right now. I need to let go. You need to let go. And she's saying study how to let go. I've had for so many years, like, you need to let go, you need to let go, you need to let go. But people don't really tell you how. Because it's not just a brain thing, it's a body thing. Like, oh, F that. Like, that person did this to me. And then you go back because you're feeling lonely or codependent or you feel abandoned. You don't know how to feel lonely. It could be a plethora of things. She's saying she doesn't want to stay too long, but to embrace her. She's as far back as Lemuria, which is like Sumeria, she's showing me. She's sending anybody who's watching my video right now, if you receive it, she's sending you a decompression frequency to your body and your auric field, and your emotional field. If you accept, I hate sounding like everybody else. You don't have to choose it if you feel uncomfortable. in order for you to feel safer, because people are projecting their traumas actually onto you, because people that mess with you actually created more trauma for them because of their choices. It's actually, what she's showing me is it's actually hindered their lifespan by messing with you. And she's showing me like a, first she showed me like a I don't know what is that. It's like a construction worker site where they like squish. She's showing me like you know when people squish like Coca-Cola cans or something like that. It's like squeezing the fuck out of them. And she's saying it's well deserved. This life, the people that were in your life were supposed to get it right, and they chose not to. In order to not reincarnate. And I don't even want to say this. Most of them will reincarnate, but it will be on another planet. I don't even want to talk about that. Because I don't want to express that. Because I might get in trouble for talking like that. Well, maybe I won't, since some people say certain things. She's showing me a time where I was talking to a guy, and he was an ex-military guy, and he told me that there was a second Earth. So that there's like Earth 1, Earth 2, and they're basically going to be sent to the Earth that we're not going to be sent beyond. You know what I mean? And this is all going to be like, she's saying in the death rate. What does that mean? Oh, like the frequency of death, basically. And it will look different for everybody, depending on what ethereal realm they will go to. But I'm not done. I'm going to finish this later, maybe tomorrow, have a little talky talk. I can't wait to talk about that painting back there. Oh, was that? There's a gang stalking situation with that painting right there. Where I live, my hands get so dry. Anyways, thank you for listening. I know it was long. If you would like some guidance or teachings on expressing your inner pains onto canvas, or just to get a start, please contact me. Or if you would like a quest reading, I don't really like calling it readings. I like calling it a quest because it's a quest and you're going on a journey, baby. Okay. Thank you. Take care.